Coming up in this episode, smelly creatures from the deep, luminous bottoms, and handy tips for sick people. All this plus love at first sight in...
A story about my favorite insects, ants.
It's about bugs. Big deal.
Oh, Pabinia, ants are very important creatures. Did you know that if they weren't here to clean up around the place, we'd all be knee-deep in rotting food?
Brad, we are knee-deep in rotting food.
Next.
Mr. Kapishki, sir, I want to play the Queen.
Well, I hope you're up to it, miss.
I want to be doted upon and cherished by my subjects.
Oh, whatever. As long as you understand this is a very demanding role. Playing the Queen Ant is no picnic. Although your workers may get to go to a few.
Queen Ant?
That's right, Miss Sir. Jahuzit, the Queen Ant.
Oh.
Now, for the purposes of this audition, my assistant here will be playing your mate, the winged male, in the opening flight scene.
Are we to be married, kind sir?
Well, it has been described as the marriage flight. Okay, and away you go. Hang on to your hat. You take off on an epic 32-kilometer flight of courtship. You're in the middle of a huge courting swarm. Come on, let's see it. Now, in amongst this swarm, something about each of you brings you together. And then you mate on the wing.
Of course, the love scene.
This will be the only time you ever mate. He'll be your first and your last.
Because my love for him will last for all eternity.
No, because after you mate, you'll be producing babies for the next 15 years. Provided, of course, you find a place to start a new colony.
Your name, fair sir?
Name? Look, lady, it doesn't matter. At the end of the flight, he wanders off and dies.
Oh, my, that's too bad.
It's Given.
Gavin, on task. Miss, some focus here, please, if it's not inconvenient.
All right.
Sure.
Okay, get back down to earth. Land. Land, Gavin.
What?
Crawl off and die someplace.
Sure. Bye.
Goodbye, my sweet.
As for you, the flight is over. What's your first priority?
To arrange Gavin's funeral.
Yeah, that's a fantasy of mine, too. Actually, you chew your wings off. Or maybe snap them off. You won't be needing them anymore.
How could I fly again, knowing that Gavin isn't with me?
Now you eat the wings. Munch those wings. And then you crawl across the open ground. Come on, crawl, crawl. You're about to lay your first batch of eggs, so you've got to burrow into the soil.
Our first children, little princes and princesses, and I will name every single one of them after you.
Wow.
Gavin and Gavina.
I'm afraid none of this batch are going to be royalty. They're going to be workers who will help you build a new colony. They will serve your every need.
At last, I will be doted upon and treated like a lady.
Actually, you'll be one of the hardest working creatures in the animal kingdom. From now on, you're basically a baby factory.
All my hopes and dreams are crushed.
What?
But I am undaunted because I know that I can play the ukulele and that love beats in my tiny ant heart.
Hey, kid, that ain't in the script.
Oh, Gavin, if only you could tap dance.
But I can.
Well, they're auditioning for the part of a tap dancing gorilla down the road. You'd be perfect.
Next.
Rectonite Television presents a documentary about one Rectonite's mission to provide help to the stupid planets of our galaxy. Intrepid scientist Fluky Cat goes where no one has been before, amongst the humans.
During my studies on this planet, I have observed many strange behaviors. For example, I was observing a young male when, for no reason, he exploded. He did not seem to be hurt and soon exploded again. What could this mean? I needed to find out, so I captured the specimen and took him back to my lab. When I examined the holes in his snout, I found traces of yellow dust. Could this be what caused the explosions? I returned to where I found him and studied the leafy creatures that live there. These strange and interesting creatures share the earth with humans and come in many forms. And sure enough, I've discovered that the most colourful pieces of the leafies actually contain this yellow dust. When I puffed this in the human's snout, he violently exploded several more times. It seems the dust triggered some kind of explosion reflex in the snout. Air was held in the chest pipes until enough pressure was built up and it was released with great force. This air cleaned out the snout and sent out a shower of snout glue, which was moving at several million intergalactic glurks, or about 160 Earth kilometers per hour. The droplets of glue were covered in tiny animals, the kind that make humans sick. The explosions spread these invaders over a wide area. Some may even reach the snouts of other humans. But why would the leafies go to the trouble to make the yellow dust and cause humans to explode? Then I had it. During my visit, I had seen humans killing the leafies in great numbers. They cut them down, burn them, and even use parts of their bodies to set fire to other dead leafies. The yellow dust must be their revenge. By causing humans to explode and make other humans sick, they must be fighting back. Although I cannot interfere in the battle between the leafies and the humans, I decided to help the specimen I captured by fitting him with an explosion catcher to stop him making other humans sick. Until next time, this is Fluky Cax amongst the humans.
Hello? Yes, this is Budget Superheroes.
Yes, we're cheap. Oh, hello, Mr. Mayor. Uh-huh. Vandals. Uh-huh. Holes. Uh-huh. Trousers. Okay, I'll send someone right over.
Okay, we've got a case of vandalism at the mayor's office. Are you interested?
What about Snail Girl?
She hasn't made it to that job we sent her on last week.
All right, I'll do it.
And keep your hands off my spray cans.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm the glowworm. What seems to be the problem? Oh, no worries. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Somebody already has. Some fiend has been breaking in here at night and cutting holes in my clothes. How am I supposed to govern a city looking like this?
Hey, guess a look at that. It's just as I thought. Hey, mate, this hasn't been cut. This has been chewed.
What? But who would want to eat holes in the mayor's trousers?
Moth Caterpillar Man.
Who?
Moth Caterpillar Man. He used to be one of us, a budget superhero dedicated to fighting crime and injustice. But he never grew up and he got really bored, so he left us for a life of evil.
And you think this moth worm thing is eating the mayor's clothes?
I'm sure of it.
But how do we stop him?
I had this planned. You see, when I was a kid, my parents took me to the local caves, and I got lost, and I ended up being raised by this family of glowworms.
Of what?
Glowworms. Oh, they're the larvae of this special type of fly that likes to live in really dark places. We had this really cunning plan to trap things. We've got lights in our bottom.
Right, that's wonderful. Charlie, get rid of this nut, please.
Nah, it's true. And we had this fishing line nucleus stuff that we hang from the roof of caves.
Yeah.
And all the little flies and moths get attracted to our line and get trapped.
Wait. Moths, you say? And they fly towards the light and get stuck in the trap. Could be worth a try. Charlie, let her go.
Okay. Now I need complete darkness and silence for this, so you can turn off that light now.
Cut! Troublemaker!
I thought someone left the light on.
Did you really think I was stupid enough to fall for that old trick? How dumb do you think I am? Nice threads, Mr. Mayor. Cotton, my favorite.
I sprayed your trousers while the lights were out.
The old poison pants trick, huh? Haven't seen that for a while.
Great work, Glowworm. Now, how do we get out of here?
There's a famous old story that all children know of a hare that was fast and a tortoise so slow. Now the hare and the tortoise, they had a great race, but the hare took a nap and fell off the pace. Unfortunately, children, this is not all quite true, and the real story of the race I will now tell to you. Our tortoise, named Ralph, was a hustler, I'm told, who set up the race to try and make gold. He thought that he had a sure way of winning, which I'll tell you now, right from the beginning. It started one day when Ralph was out mopping, and into the forest a new face came hopping, a striking white hare with sparkling pink eyes. Oh, first of all, Ralph thought it was a disguise. But then the hare, whose first name was Dino, explained to Ralph that he was an albino. Albinos, you see, have no melanin, the pigment which colours our hair, eyes and skin. It helps with our eyes, it protects our vision, it helps us see the world with unequalled precision. It also protects us on hot sunny days from the harmful effects of the sun's UV rays. That night, while Dino was fast asleep dreaming, Ralph was awake, plotting and scheming. He thought to himself, this'll be fun. I'll challenge that hare to a race in the sun. Since he hasn't any of that melanin rot, the race must be long and the day must be hot. He'll start getting burnt near the end by my reckoning, so I'll set up umbrellas with lemonade beckoning. I surely must win. What a great money maker. And then I'll sail off on a cruise to Jamaica. The very next day was sunny and bright, which gave crooked Ralph unbridled delight. All round the forest he spread the big news of the race he would win and Dino would lose. The bookies, they laughed, said it couldn't be done, and offered him odds of 100 to 1. The race was started, and off Dino ran, but Ralph wasn't worried. He knew the plan. He meandered off at a leisurely pace, a smug little grin on his smug little face. Dino was starting to burn, poor fella. And that's when he noticed Ralph's planted umbrella. He turned off the track and away he did run into the shade to hide from the sun, which was hurting his eyes and burning his skin. Ooh, you should have seen the pain he was in. Ralph plodded on at his lazy snail's pace, and while Dino was hiding, he won the race. Nobody else seemed to find it too funny as Ralph went around and collected his money. He exclaimed to the others, "That Dino's a sap. He thought he'd won, so he took a wee nap." He stuffed all his cash in a dirty old sack, and that's when he felt a tap on the back. "Dino," he said, "this is a surprise." Think again. This is a disguise. My name isn't Dino. I'm really called Hector, and you're busted, Ralph. I'm a tax inspector. But all that stuff about albinos was true. My cousin's one. That's how I knew. I've spent the last year following your trail, so I'll take that money. You won't need it in jail. You haven't paid tax in 35 years. It's astounding the amount you owe in arrears. Tax pays for things like the hospitals we have, and this is enough for a new public lav. The toilets were built and Ralph went to jail. 10 years hard labour with no chance of bail. Now the moral of the story, I think you will see, is that Even tax dodgers can help people pee.
Do you want to buy a comet?
Oh, no, thanks, I don't read them.
No, not a comic. A comet. You know, the big, bright, shiny things that fly through space.
Well, I don't know.
Go on, it's a real beauty, worth a fortune. But I'll sell it to you for dirt cheap.
Well, how do I know I can trust you? What's your name?
I'm, Edmund Halley.
Not the famous 17th century astronomer who worked out when the comet would return.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought you died in 1742.
Nah, nasty rumour. Anyway, great quality, this comet, made of genuine ice and rock.
It's not an import, is it?
Well, they all are. Made in the Oort cloud, I believe.
The what?
The Oort cloud. This huge cloud out on the edge of the solar system, made up of all the bits left over when they made the planets.
And that's where comets come from?
Yeah. Every now and then, something happens and a chunk of the cloud gets knocked out and goes flying towards the sun.
Oh.
Yeah, the comet gets trapped by the sun's gravity and keeps flying round and round it.
Well, how many miles has this one done?
Oh, practically brand new.
Hmm. And do they last very long?
Oh, thousands and thousands of years. Some of them just keep going and going, give you great service. Unless you crash it.
Crash it?
Into a planet or something.
Well, I didn't know they could hit things.
Oh, yeah, you get your careless drivers not looking where they're going. Boom, straight in the earth. They reckon that might be how the dinosaurs kicked the bucket.
Oh, dear.
Oh, don't worry, love. Chances of it happening again are pretty slim.
And does this one come with any extras?
Well, you're in luck. This particular comet comes with a tail.
A tail?
Yeah, show you. You see, when a comet gets close to the sun, bits of dust and ice and gas melt off it and stream behind. It can be millions of kilometres long.
And this tail just follows the comet?
Well, that's the funny thing. You see, no matter which way the comet's going, the tail always points away from the sun.
If the comet is moving away from the sun, it could have the tail in front of it?
Yeah, great for finding your way around space. You always know which direction the sun is.
I suppose that's due to the solar wind.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, do you want to buy it or not? Den's prices will not be beaten.
Why not?
Great, it's over here.
Hang on. Isn't it minus 270 degrees in space?
Yeah, probably.
Well, wouldn't that be why the comet was frozen?
Yeah.
So if you've got one in there, won't it have, well, melted?
Den proudly announces his huge half-price reduction sale. One slightly damaged comet for 3,000. 1,500? 250?
This is the story of Marjorie Courtney Latimer, a woman always on the lookout for surprises. Marjorie ran the museum in a town in South Africa and was quite keen on studying strange fish. So keen, in fact, that whenever the local fishermen had an interesting catch, they would call her up and she would rush down to the wharf in the hope of finding something interesting. It was a wet and smelly job and not much fun. But one day, Marjorie found a surprise. A fish she had never seen before. One with large stumps for fins, and the stumps were full of bones, quite unlike any known fish. Well, that wasn't quite true. Marjorie couldn't help feeling there was something extraordinary about this fish, and she couldn't wait to investigate her files. It did resemble a very ancient family of fish known as the coelacanths, or lobe-finned fish. But the coelacanth was a lost fish. The last known coelacanth had died 80 million years ago. She needed a second opinion, so she decided to send the stumpy fish on to her good friend Professor Smith at the university. Professor Smith was interested in fish too, although by the time he received Marjorie's fish, it was pretty smelly. Still, he was very interested and set about trying to identify old Stumpy. After a while, he too decided it was the lost coelacanth, a living fossil that nobody had seen for 80 million years, and something like the fish that later took up life on land and became land animals like lizards, sheep, you and me and Professor Smith. The coelacanth had been alive all this time. They'd just been hard to catch. Well, when other fish experts checked out their find, they turned up their noses, and not just because of the smell. When someone says they've caught a fish that is supposed to have been dead for millions of years, it's the same as if they told you they'd just found a dinosaur in their garden. But as they examined it, they could see that it was almost identical to the fossil fish, and indeed was the 80-million-year-old coelacanth. And suddenly, these same scientists were very, very interested in Marjorie's find. So they took Marjorie's fish away to tell the world that a great discovery had been made.
Scaly sensation!
Newspapers and scientific journals were soon full of the news of the discovery of the coelacanth. What the newspapers and journals were not full of, however, was the story of how the real work had been done by Marjorie and Professor Smith. The search began to find more coelacanths to study, since it might be a missing link between fishes and land animals. But none were found. In fact, scientists didn't find one for 14 years, and then they were in for another surprise. They discovered that the coelacanth had actually been known for a very long time to the fishermen of the tropical Comoro Islands. There it was known as the gombessa, a deep water fish that was not too popular and didn't sell for very much at the fish market. Perhaps it was the smell. But when the world's fish experts finally found out where the coelacanth, or gombessa, had been hiding, they were well pleased and set about finding more to study. In fact, they were in great demand. And that is how the lost coelacanth was rediscovered by science. But that's not the end of the story. Ever since, so much effort has gone into catching and studying the coelacanth that it's getting harder than ever to find. The world's scientists are attempting to make a very rare fish even rarer, which is bad news for the coelacanth because there aren't many left.
Well, the whole thing started way down on the dock. Miss Courtney Latimer got a bit of a shock.
It's the freakiest fish that I have ever seen.
So she took her to an expert on Mattis Marine.
My name is Smith.
And he knew right away.
This fish isn't like the others around here today.
But it sure looked like something that he'd seen before.
It's a fish that's as old as the dinosaur.
Oh, Stumpy, it was a missing link. Oh, Stumpy, it caused a real big stink. It gave everyone a fright. Should have stayed out of sight. Oh, Stumpy was a missing link. Well, coelacanths, they are interesting creatures
with truly amazing bodily features.
Their fins are quite bony.
So curious.
A kind of a cross between fishes and us.
The excitement had mounted and reached every nation.
Read all about it. Scaly sensation.
But our scientist friends now who made the great find got pushed to one side and were left far behind. Old Stumpy was a missing link. Old Stumpy, it caused a real big stink. It gave everyone a fright. Should have stayed out of sight. Old Stumpy was a missing link. And the quiet waters where the coelacanth lurked were made up by scientists just going berserk.
But us locals knew about this fish from the past. We've been catching them for ages.
But nobody'd asked, and ever since this whole darn commotion began,
we've been catching old Stumpy just as fast as we can.
And though they've survived for millions of years, it may not be long till they all disappear. Oh, Stumpy, it was a missing link. Oh, Stumpy, it was a real big stink. It gave everyone a fright. Should have stayed out of sight.
La da 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 da. Oh, Stumpy. La da 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 da. Oh, Brad, have you seen my yo-yo? It's been lost for days.
That's nothing. The coelacanth was lost for over 80 million years.
Yeah, I still can't believe that they lost a 2-meter-long, bright blue fish that smells worse than your socks. I mean, did they look down the back of the couch? That's the first place I would have looked.
Isn't it weird how scientists seem to be wiping out the very species they're supposed to be studying?
Yeah. Do you think there are any other strange ancient creatures that haven't been discovered yet?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
I've got to say that this program was made by JPL for TV3.
Yeah, and I've got to say that this program was made with the help of your broadcasting feed, so you can see more of New Zealand on air.